Then you graduate West Point, and then you go into the military. There's different facets of the military. I chose the Army Rangers. Why? Because it's the path less traveled, the hardest path to go. More character building there. I'm living once. I'm going to live where I want to live. Because I know every rock and every step and the steepness of the mountain, I'm going to grow more and more from that. I became addicted to it. Pain, if I wasn't feeling it, I didn't know if I was alive. Went through Ranger School, graduated Ranger School, 70 days. Went in at 215, best shape of my life, came out at 163. You know, I was sweating this green film, his muscles just being ripped apart. Delusional, there's no food. Your mission starts at 5 in the morning, ends at 6 a.m. the next day. You know, trucking 120 miles a day, jumping out of planes, got all this weight on your back, it's pissing rain, snowing on you, whatever else, pushing past it. What's that school all about? Leadership. They tried to instill wartime environment. Take away all your comforts. Take away all your pleasures. Take away your food. And see if you can lead soldiers who don't want to be moved. I like that. I like that environment there. But you get delusional. I remember picking up a leaf off the ground, and I tried to insert it into a tree because that was a vending machine. I shit you not. I was like, I swear it was. You have to go that far sometimes. And through that process, you build a bond with yourself first and other people that's invincible. It's unstoppable. Became an Army captain before my time. And when I was an Army captain, in charge of about 180 guys, I had this open door policy. And in the military, you get soldiers that come in. Some soldiers are, unfortunately, you know, the majority of them don't really have any other options in life. It's like go to jail or join the military. They come in with all this street cred, all these tattoos, all this street pride and stuff. You know, well, this and that. No, they're scared. They're scared boys. They're hiding behind the gang, hiding behind this, because they don't have the individual ability to be themselves. They start to associate with other groups because who they are isn't good enough. People that take steroids, judge me. They can't say that. Hold on. That's steroids. All right, judge me. So guess what? Your success is dependent on this. That's nowhere to go. So anyway, company commander, our open door policy, these tough guys would come in there, crying their eyes out. I'm 23 years old. I don't know much. Crying their eyes out. Hey, sir, I don't know how to kick this cocaine problem. I've never seen cocaine before. I don't know what that is, but let's work on it. Hey, sir, I don't know how to, I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to lose my partner, my wife's pregnant, I'm this, that, I think I want to suck a dick. Well, everything and anything, It's so easy to get a laugh out of you. You work with them when you time off. Here's a guy's all tough, right? You go on that run, 5 in the morning, platoon size, and you're running like 12 miles. And this guy's dragging ass. He falls down the side of the street, and he just can't go on anymore. For the first time in his life, someone's right there to help him. Come on, bro, we can do this together. I'll shoulder your weight this time. You can shoulder mine next time. No, man, I'm done. Now you pick him up anyway, against his will. You complete the run you set out for. Doesn't seem like much, but a small seed is just planted. Success. Where fear, failure, I can't do anymore, was passed through. And he crossed the finish line. He looks back and says, oh my God, maybe I can do it. What else am I holding myself back from? I just saw something there, birthed something. I like the taste of that. I want some more of that. Comes into your office crying his eyes out later. You start to build this cohesive unit. That's what I saw with you guys when I'm out there. Everybody has each other's back. There's nowhere to go but up at that point. But with all that stuff, you got to be ready for Armageddon. You got to be ready for the days to shut down on you. And you can't be afraid of that. If what you have is so valuable, all your assets, all your possessions, are so valuable that you can't lose them, and you can never grow from them. It's a ball and chain that's going to hold you back. So I always went for things. I always bet on myself. Felt that was a gamble I could never lose. Because I owned the ins and the outs of that. 2009, I came I just dropped off the planet, man. So here I was, a successful athlete, successful in the military, West Point, Army Ranger. You know, got about, now I'm out in LA, got about 200 covers. I've been on movies and TV shows. Just bought a house with over $1 million, got about $1 million or so in the bank. You know, I'm feeling pretty large, right? Housing market, this is all within 6 months. Housing market flipped, stock market crashed. Both shows were canceled. I went from having whatever I wanted to be about $400,000 in debt. I used to have parties at my house all the time. You know, these kind of people in LA, they come with nothing, but they leave with something. You know, that's those kind of people. You know, and I always say, like, your greatest hour is usually right after your worst hour to spare. And I'll be gone. I was right there at the bottom of the barrel, man. And no one was around, man. Nobody was there to help me. And I was so pissed with them because I helped so many people along the way up to that point, and now I need the help and no one's around. I just want to point my finger at every single one of them. And what I noticed is that 3 fingers were pointing back at me. And it's like when a plane's going down in life, guys. You got to put your mask on before you can dawn on someone else's. I had to do some stuff. I had to take responsibility. I'm in this boat because I walked it. Whether or not I knew, I planted seeds every day that bear the fruit of this fruition here. That's what I was. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can get out of this. My parents relied on me for money, my family. I had 3 pit bulls I rescued. If I can't keep this house, then I don't know where they're going to go. I mean, a lot was riding on it. I didn't even know how to do this, man. So what did I do? I couldn't do any more acting work. Because to go to acting work, you had to, like, go to an audition, doesn't pay. Go to a callback, doesn't pay. Another callback doesn't pay. You do your part. 3 months later, you get a check. That's like, whatever. Hoping it just wasn't going to work. I had to reinvent myself again. So I was good with construction. I started going to photographers' houses that I used to shoot I don't know how many covers with and build things for them. I'll never forget this one day, this girl comes to shoot a cover with a photographer, and I'm sitting there covered in shit. And he's like, Greg, I was hoping to be you, man. I was hoping we were going to shoot this cover together. And she's like, well, why you're not quite ready to shoot, are you? I'm not going to shoot today, babe. It's just you, I think. Well, what are you doing here? I go, I'm trying to keep my house, you know? I'm trying to keep my house. She's like, I don't understand. Like, I don't need you to. And so I started to just kind of like figuring things out. You know, I had a drinking problem then. You know, maybe I had to fix that a little bit. You know, I started going back to, church and, trying some things out, you know? That I should have tried for a long time. I was masking them with success because I was being defined by the success. So all these big things that were huge things blowing up in my face, I didn't even see them as flags. Because I had this false front of protectiveness that wasn't who I was. The only thing you can build on, it has to be a rock of integrity, of character, of belief inside yourself. If you don't have that, then everything you build is on sand. The storms of life will come, and it will never weather it. It will crumble. All that hard work will go out the window, which just happened to me. I look back on that now as my greatest performance ever, man. People ask me, what are your greatest moments? Every single one of them is failure. That's where I got to learn who I was. That's where I got the report card to know which part was fixed, which part was broken, so I can take my effort and reapply it. Fitness. I got a website that makes over $2 million a year. There's no one in the fitness industry that makes money. No one does. I didn't have to. It forced me to do this. The reality of life, whatever that truth is, right? It's not as powerful as the perception on how you see it. No matter what happens, it's the perception on how you see it. You're having a shitty day. Wish you never woke up, right? Everything's Murphy's Law slapping you in the face 15 times. And all of a sudden, like, this phone rings, right? You pick up the phone, and it's really good news. Got a promotion, maybe. Maybe it's like your mom's in remission of cancer. Something great news, you know? You hang up the phone, and you're just like, you just want to run the streets. You want to go to the gym. You want to call up your friend and say, hey, buddy, I'm sorry. You want to make amends. You just want to live life and make it all right. What happened there? There's no power that comes to the phone that made you more capable. You're the same capable person before as you were after. Your perception has changed. And with that perception change, you get to understand time and time again that the way you see it is what's faulty, not the situation at hand. So many people out there fail not because they don't have the ability. It's because they don't have the heart to go through adversity. The other thing that's worst case scenario is fear. For many of you guys, it robs you of your true potential. Why is that? Because it's a parasite. It feeds off you, the host. Its fuel is confidence. When fear comes into your body, it's at its weakest state. You could kill it right there in a second, but you don't. You turn your back to it. You let it grow. You let it feed off you. It gets so big one day, you can turn to a self-paralysis state. So strong, guys, that you're almost suicidal. I'm not speaking words to you from a book I read. I'm speaking, I jumped out of a plane and never pulled because I was that depressed. It hit me that hard. What saved my life was a computer that pulled my Cypress. That's why I'm still here. When I landed, man, the air smelled different. My perception changed in a minute. I went back to my dorm at West Point, went to work, killed it. But before that, man, I was all messed up. Your ability is unwavering, but the way in which you see it. When I hit rock bottom in 2009, it took that for me to open up, not the tunnel vision I've been living in, but the peripheral, to see what was up and how to change something. How to reinvent the wheel, how to break the rules. How to start a business that didn't exist. And so I did. And now I'm up here in front of you people. And you guys are asking me things. And I'm supposed to be something of an inspiration or something like that. How the fuck did this happen? Every single thing I've achieved has been built on failure and fear. That's why I'm here. Where I'm going to be, I have to be ready for. Because my greatest hours to come, and all these adversities, all these things, all these struggles that I feel every single day, because I feel them every single day. I fail every day. I go to auditions, they spit in my face. I'm okay with that. I just keep on throwing shit against the wall. Eventually something sticks. That perseverance. My biggest thing's about to come. I have to be ready for all of this stuff. I mean, let me tell you a story, because there's much like this scenario. Keynote speaker, somebody if you're talking, a person comes in there in the darkness, hiding out, and here to listen to somebody's story. Hopefully it motivates them and stuff. Because everyone's going to tell you, man, it's like, yeah, man, I'm working my ass off hard. I'm doing everything right and everything. I'm just killing it, right? Are you really? Do you even know what hard work is? Who's here going on a marathon or a run or anything else, Anybody done that kind of stuff? Yeah? So when you're sitting there in a sedative state before that run, right? You know exactly right from wrong. You know exactly at a young age, as a kid, who you want to be. A doctor, a lawyer, someone of inspiration. No one wants to be forgotten. No one wants to be a drug addict. No one wants to go to jail. But why does that happen? Because as you're climbing the mountain, your feet start to become heavy. Your lungs start to bleed. Your heart starts to race like crazy. And then we get to find out the true value of our dreams. Because before we start that endeavor, when we war game and we find out what we want to be, the question is, do we believe that? Because if we don't believe that, then that journey you're about to embark on will turn into a debate. That debate is one between pain versus pride. As you start to climb that echelon status, because everything in life that's desired upon is rarely achieved because it takes that much out of you. It's that hard to achieve. But if you do achieve it, it's pretty phenomenal. So you go about that journey, and all of a sudden the body starts to fill with pain. And all of a sudden, like the heart, we start to weigh out that dream, the value. How bad do we really want? Maybe we don't really need that bad.